All right, Advent of Code 2022, day 6. Thank God this one was a lot easier than day 5. I finished the day 5 video a couple of hours ago, uploaded it, and then got right to day 6, thinking it was going to be just as difficult. Thankfully, it is not. It is significantly easier than day 5. Basically, just some fairly simple vector kind of like logic. So we'll hop into it. I'll kind of explain the prompt, and I won't really go over it because for the most part, it's just story. And I like the stories; they're kind of cool, but we won't go over those too much. So you get this big long string, basically, and you have to parse to find the first time that 4 characters are unrepeated. So each window, you're basically going to check to see how long it takes for you to get to a chunk of 4 characters where none of the characters are repeated. That is a much better explanation than whatever I said the first time. So here you see DVGD, D is repeated. Here you see VGDV, V is repeated, same thing. Here, V is repeated, and you keep going until you find an instance where you have 4 characters that are all unique. All right, so I solved part 1 in a fairly unoriginal way, but I refactored the code in order to make it work for part 2. Part 2 is essentially the exact same thing, but instead of four lines unrepeated, or 4 characters, sorry, unrepeated, you have 14 characters unrepeated. So if you generalize your repeated characters function, that will print out whether or not a given substring has repeated characters, then you can do it with any length string. So that's basically what I did for part 2, and I'm going to stick with that solution for part 1 as well because it's a more graceful solution. So we've got the 4-character solution in solve 1. You take in your string, it's just one long string, so you don't have to break it up by lines or anything like that. Break it up into a vector, and then you've got an index. So we're going to march through 1 character at a time and pass in a 4-character chunk to our repeated characters function. So if there are repeated characters, then we're going to, if it returns true, if it returns true, in which case there are no repeated characters, then we are going to return the index plus 4, which is basically the character at which the last 4 characters, including that character, are unrepeated. So if we go up to our repeated characters function, it uses stacks. Reason why it uses stacks, honestly, is because I had to use stacks so much in day 5 solution that I figured I might as well stick to it while it was fresh. So basically what it does is while the length of the characters array, which is just an array of bytes instead of characters, while that is greater than 0, it's going to run this loop. And the loop is essentially checking to see if the popped character is in the remaining string. So you've got 4 characters in the first solution. It pops off 1 character, and then it checks to see if that 1 character is in these 3 characters. If it is, it goes ahead and returns false. If it's not, then it will pop the next one. So you've got 1 comparing to 2, and so on until you've got no more characters within your string. If you've got no more characters within your string, you have not returned yet, so you just return true. So the cool part about day 6 is it's the exact same thing for 14 characters. Like I said, if you generalize this function right here, it's the same no matter how many input characters you give it. So this is like the shortest possible solution video. It is not at all the most efficient way to do this, but by way of proof, day 6, cargo run, and we get 1965 and 2773. Let me pop open a new Brave window and go to adventcode.com and over to the calendar. I'm already on it. Day 6, 1965, right there, and 2773, right there. Okay, so like I said, I got the answer right. Didn't learn as much from this one. I learned kind of another thing that you can do with stacks, or with just like the push pop method. So that was useful. But nothing new syntactically here. The logic is fairly simple in it, and honestly, I'm very thankful for that because holy crap, day 5 just completely like sap me of energy. So if you want to check out the day 5 video for something a little bit more complex, I will link it up there somewhere. And you can check out the playlist as well. I'll have that linked in the description, and obviously you can just check out my channel to do that. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys. Take it easy. Peace.